and gentlemen, welcome to UTR Presents the House of the Podcast. It's me. I can't even do it anymore. I'm just too damn sad. What's going on, folks? Joining me today is my longtime co-host, our only ever double champion in UTR history. He is Sir Warhawk. I'm not saying the rest of that. What's going on, Jenny?
I tried so fucking hard. I tried so hard. What's going on? What's going on, folks? What's going on? Happy Saturday, Betty. Cookies, I'm glad you finally got it.
What's up, champ?
What you call it? What? Did you see what's popping up?
Yeah, I saw. That's my personal Facebook page. You won't gotta worry about it.
All right. I'm about to say, what the shit is that? What's going on, Dolores? How you doing? You saw that, right, Cookies? He stopped it so fast. I will, Sir Warhawk of niggerdom.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You can say it. Also joining us today is our oh my God, Kenny, I'm so damn tired.
Street team captain.
Thank you, Sir Tito Coquito of Isles of Puerto Rico. You both had a real fun night last night. Y'all went to a hog show.
Yes, we did. House of Glory once again put on an amazing show. I will be posting pictures after a couple of edits, so look for them this weekend on my Twitter page. You'll see them. Amazing show. Swerve. Zilla Fatu is for real, folks. Zilla Fatu is for
that
real.
Boy good.
That is. I know everybody keeps thinking Jacob Fatu is the new Umaga. Nah, Zilla is his daddy's son. For real. That is Umaga. And he's country as fuck. Didn't realize like that boy is like down south country. Like y'all, what up? That boy is Bama backwood on the porch type country. I'm like, damn, how long have you been in Texas, my guy? Like, the accent didn't match the person at all. At all.
Y'all got to see him, and y'all got to see another person that people are really raving about with Megan Bain. So,
yes, we did get to see the Megasis. She goes by the name the Megasis. She has a patch over her eye. My boy Tito kept screaming, "Poke her in the good eye" the entire match. Her outfit, I'm not gonna lie, reminded me of She-Ra. It really did. It reminded me of She-Ra. I know she got mad because I know she heard me say, "Kick her ass from the powers of Grayskull." I know she got mad when she heard me say that because it was kind of quiet and I was dumb loud.
So, I know she was mad when I told the chick she was facing, poke her in the good eye.
Right. So
yeah, y'all always end up seeing some like up and comers in Hog. Like I wish we could like actually peep their shit, normally. I'd love to see some of that stuff.
What you call it? They are now back on Fight and Triller TV.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
Okay.
They are now back on Fight and Triller TV. So if you
I might have to cop up some money for that one because y'all be talking about that stuff.
They put on excellent shows, man, and the fact that Amazing Red has such good working relationships with so many different stars and stuff. These stars want to come to House of Glory. And the energy and the vibe is unmatched. Like it's a small New York crowd. So they're gonna let you feel it. If you're good, they're gonna let you know. If you're bad.
Every time one of these dudes come from the main promotions like TNA, AEW, they always end up showing love to Amazing Red and Loki.
Right.
As soon as the show is done, they be like, "Yo, show these dudes some fucking love, because without these two, there would be no us."
Right.
There you
last night we saw a damn good matchup between fucking what you call it? We got to see Steve Macklin and Santana. Santana's
Wasn't
their
it supposed
world
to be? Who was it supposed to? Zilla was supposed to originally face because y'all were talking about.
Swerve.
Okay, all right.
He originally was supposed to face Swerve.
It was supposed to be Santana and Zilla, but they switched the
Oh,
match.
that's right. That's right. Santana and Zilla. So they didn't want to give him the world title. They gave him their version of the U.S. title, the Crown Jewel Championship.
Okay.
So it was, and Megan Bayne is now the House of Glory Women's Champion.
Yeah, Megan Bayne's been doing the. She's shown up in She's shown up in AEW several times. I think she was the OVW champion for a bit, which is worked with TNA for a while. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. But they used to kind of be like their system. Stardom and a few other places. So like, yeah, she's gonna be. I agree with Dolores. Like Megan Bayne should have absolutely already been signed somewhere. It's kind of shocking she hasn't. Let's get into some dragons. What is for some reason the most controversial episode in Game of Thrones history? Have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen what's going on with it? It is. This episode has led to the review bombing of House of the Dragon.
Why?
Like people are furious about it. Apparently because of that scene.
Because of the HLA?
Yeah, because of Rhaenyra and is it the White Worm? The White Worm? I can't remember what the actual name is. But because of that scene, people like it has tanked rating wise. People like to get weird about shit.
Wait, hold on.
Because it didn't happen in the book. That's why people are upset.
Hold on. So we can have incest, but we can't get some lesbian action.
I guess it might be what Tito's saying.
We can have incest where a whole ass uncle is married to his niece and have babies. A whole ass brother is married to his sister and have babies. Whole ass cousins, first cousins, becoming king and queen together. A set of twins fucking and having babies. That's okay, but we can't have two random lesbians get it on?
Really
what the shit is this?
Maybe it might be what Tito said. I'm trying to like find out. I didn't even know about it until like this morning. I was like looking up stuff about it, and it's just they're tanking, and it might be what he's saying is that it maybe didn't happen in the book, because I don't know why it would be a problem considering the rest of this series. Like I was like, oh, is it like people that are coming in and they're like, oh, Christian, no gay shit? But we've been seeing that stuff since like the first season of Game of Thrones. Like first episode.
Adaptation. It's called adaptation, folks.
Yeah, because from my understanding,
if you want it to be exactly like the book, then go read the fucking book. You have to do adaptations, which to make TV interesting. What part of that do you not get? Like, if that's the case, then there should be shitty reviews for fucking Interview with a Vampire, considering the fact that Louis Black, it's in a later time frame, shit like that. Like, that wasn't in the book. It's called adaptations. Adaptations. Why would that scene actually make so much sense, considering in fact who the person was and how they got to their position where they are? It makes sense, actually, whether it was in the book or not. That makes sense that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody I know that has read the books, we were talking about it, and she's like, yeah, like they taking too long with Damien. Like in the books, he's not this long in Harrenhal. He gets the job done and he keeps it fucking moving. And then this shit with Rhaenyra and this one, that shit didn't happen in the books. And
that is like, simply because like that book that this is based off of is like not incredibly long, you know, and it's a lot of like just different details of like the history of the thing. So Daemon being in that, it might be a little long, yeah, but they got to stretch it out for a season, man. They got to make this, you know, make TV.
First and foremost, Mongo, I hate you for life because Harrenhal is officially the Scooby-Doo house, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I can never not call it that. Anytime something comes up in Harrenhal, I'm sitting there like, God damn it, Mongo, fucking Scooby-Doo house.
Bro, anytime Damon like hears something, he like looks up and he gets those like weird eyes, like what the fuck was that? I just like ruh-roh. Like it's, I can hear it. I can just hear it in my head. This is like his dragon sitting outside Raymond, and
right. And he's running back and forth through different doors with monsters chasing behind him and shit like that. Like, I hate you so much, Mongo. I hate you so much. Like, I literally cannot see anything with Harry without thinking, fucking Scooby-Doo. God damn it, Gregory. Once again, you've ruined something else.
That's what I'm here for. Yes, the rut-row. Yeah, so apparently it's, so from what I'm seeing, I'm looking at like different articles here and different reviews, and it's more or less just people
didn't want her to be a lesbian,
not wanting two women to share a kid. Like it's coming from countries that are anti-LGBT, like, you know, Saudi Arabia and a lot of other ones, but it's also the most negatively reviewed episode of this series in America.
So
and the UK.
As long as we can see Aemond's dick when he's standing up from a fucking prostitute, that's perfectly fine. But we can't see two women share a kiss.
Apparently, I don't get it. I also, but again, this isn't.
Thank you, Batty.
First, this
Thank
isn't
you, Batty.
Yeah, I guess. That's my confusion about it. Is like, this isn't the first time we've seen shit like this in this series. So why are we getting? Why is now the time people are getting? They're clutching their pearls and they're freaking out. It's.
Bro,
last
season
we don't have anything else to complain about?
Last season we watched a crippled dude jerk off by sucking on a queen's foot, and that's okay.
I guess it's okay because he's a man. I don't know what to say about that shit. It's ridiculous.
Let's just start the episode from the beginning. Go ahead, brother.
Let's do it.
Because I know you got notes.
Yeah. So, we're kind of starting out flying over King's Landing, and what we're seeing more this episode is more of the peasants dealing with their food shortage. As what's been claimed is Rhaenyra they have the blockade in the seas stopping them from getting food. Aemond is now running things. He is the king. What's the word?
Yo, king consort.
And he is King Regent. And he is taking livestock into the kingdom. And later on in the episode, we hear someone say there were times when Viserys was king where we were struggling, but he struggled with us. Like, they did not eat lamb and roasted pork and all this great meat while we were starving.
Right.
So you're already seeing the way the way Aemond rules. And honestly, it kind of contrasts to the way that Aegon was going to do things on his own, where, you know, people came and complained about not having sheep or pigs or anything. And he said, well, we can just give them some. And somebody had to tell him, well, if you give them something, you have to give something to everybody. Like, you can clearly see, even though Aegon's a piece of shit, there's a little bit of humanity in there where Aemond doesn't give a fuck.
My thing is this too. The one that, since you mentioned that particular scene, that particular gentleman where he was like, you know, my daughter, it's the same gentleman who was trying to get his daughter out of King's Landing to go see the medicine.
Mm-hmm.
He just straight robbed somebody for their bag of goods.
Yes,
bro,
he does.
Straight just rocked my man, knocked his ass out, and said, "Give me that." I was like, "Oh, I thought you were supposed to be a good guy."
Said, "Give me that
Like-
piggy bag."
You know, it's Game of Thrones. I don't think anybody's ever completely good except for, you know, I guess Jon Snow, and he's kind of a bitch. So, man, needed some carrots. Exactly.
No. My man Stark. Don't sleep.
Oh yeah,
my man
Ned.
Stark.
Yeah, Ned.
Ned was a
That's
good man.
He's a good
He was
man.
a good man. Miss you, Ned.
Miss you, Ned.
Ned.
We still never recovered from Ned, man.
Never.
But yeah, so we see peasants running around and grabbing bags of food, and like you said, he was walking around. He said, "Where'd you get that food from? Where'd you get it from? The boats are sending them in. Rhaenyra is sending us food. Even now, in the midst of this war, she thinks of us when our king does not."
Mm-hmm.
So he runs down there, and again, it's a massive crowd. We're seeing soldiers trying to calm everything down, and he, like you said, he runs up, knocks somebody's out. "Give me that shit!" Takes his bag, carrots, all kind of vegetables and things, and yeah, this is kind of the story of this episode where Aemond and the rest of his council are slowly losing control of the people, and Rhaenyra is seen not only by them as the rightful queen, but the queen of the people.
Yeah, they are very much. It's a big war to win, because if you're winning the war, like, okay, yes, the soldiers and stuff like that, England soldiers with Christian Cole are progressing and taking over stuff, but if you can't win over as the title of the show is called, the small folk. The small folk is what make your kingdom. If the small folk aren't following you, are you even the fucking leader? So Rhaenyra winning over the kingdom that she's not even setting foot on just yet is huge. Because now Aemond has to literally do one or two things: become a strict, hard dictator, which would make the people hate him even more, or he's going to have to soften up to where he can have the people, not like it. People start liking. Mm-hmm. And we know this motherfucker ain't softening up.
No, not in any way, shape, or form. After all that happens, we do see him meeting with Larys, or as we might call him, Littlefoot, and someone else at the council. And Larys is trying to play his hand to become the hand of Aemond. And Aemond does not have that shit, because Larys says, you know, your brother had Sir Cole, and the king, your grandsire had Otto Hightower, who was grandsire, or your father had your grandsire. And he says, you know, you need someone who is more of a thinker, a tactician, kind of hinting like, hey, somebody like me had to use my brain.
And Aemond said, you're absolutely right. Do me a favor, go get my granddaddy for me.
Yeah. he does. He, for a second, he's like, oh, he said, it is your job. And he goes, oh, I never thought, Your Grace, but I would be honored. And he said, don't get it twisted.
Whoa.
Let's back it up.
No. He hit your man with the slow your roll, bro. Slow your roll.
Stop.
Not you.
Think about
it. Literally. Hit him with that. Literally hit him with that. With the no, this ain't gonna work.
Motherfucker, hold on. I ain't done with my speech.
And he says, I want you to go fetch my grandsire. Otto is going to be my hand. And Larry's like,
okay,
as you wish. Like he just got, and you know what? Good. I'm glad that happened to him, because I hate him.
He broke his fucking heart.
It did. But you know what? Good.
What? Doing that, what Aemond doesn't realize is he has now made himself an enemy in Littlefoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because this man is all about trying to, because he said it before. He was like, you know, you with your eye, me with my foot. You know what I mean? Like, we've been treated differently. So this man has always fought to try to get respect, because he was born with a deformity and stuff like that. So the fact that Aemond pretty much said, "Nah, you're not rising up no ranks. You're gonna stay right where the fuck you at." You can guarantee now all of a sudden his little whispers are gonna start going towards somebody else now, which is going to shift the war even more.
Absolutely. We do get to hear more about Aegon's condition. He is, of course, in extreme pain. I believe the direct quote as far as his condition is he sleeps 9 hours out of every 10. He is, like Cookie said a few weeks ago, he's a hot pocket. There's a part of that armor that is grafted to his skin from the dragon fire. And
it's like his whole left side. Just about.
Yeah. His left leg is broken in a cast. Laris later in the episode even talks about how like your body's broken. You will never be able to run again. And he's just, the first time we see him, he's just kind of screaming in agony as they're trying to like replace bandages and tear off some of these scabs and try to like continue to work on them.
When they showed that shit, it literally made me think of actual people who have unfortunately been burned and had to have skin grafts. Like, how do you let that heal? Because you have to have bandages on, so the medication and stuff, so you don't get infections and stuff. But as you take the bandages off, you're peeling off the skin, so it's like an open wound for forever, damn near. Like you kind of have to air dry with skin, like when you get burnt. Like you kind of have to like just be somewhere and just hang butt naked and just air dry so you can get the scabs, because keeping the bandages on it keeps the wound moist, and then trying to
even thinking about it in the way you're talking, it like you kind of having like fight back some nausea. It's rough. That's actually a good point. Cookie says it reminds him of Jorah from Game of Thrones, who was getting that disease where like his skin was being covered in like
dragon scale.
They called it like dragon something, I guess dragon scale, but like they had to essentially peel off every piece of it from his body.
Yeah.
And we got to see part of that, and that's actually a good shout. Yeah, absolutely. It is pretty gross. It's pretty disgusting,
to say the least.
Aemond is told at small council that Aegon is, despite sleeping a lot and he's in agony, he's doing better than expected. So he has to go pay
he's basically saying he's going to live.
Yeah. Which now is like, oh shit, did he know I attacked him on purpose? So he goes in to check on him, tells everyone to leave so they can have a private conversation. And Aegon clearly remembers because he's like clutching the bed and trying to grab onto something. And Aemond grabs his hand.
Aegon is scared out of his fucking mind.
He's terrified. Aemond grabs his hand and he presses it into that open wound. And he's just like screaming in pain.
He said, "What do you remember, brother?
I'm so good to see you doing well. What do you remember?" And he goes, "Nothing. I remember nothing." And right now, Aemond has have a good one, Reggie. Have a good one, brother. We see right now Aemond has the power, and we it is weird looking back at this where when Viserys first died, Aegon didn't want to be the king. Aemond did, and we've heard a lot during this show and and Game of Thrones that the people that don't want to rule tend to, and they end up tending to be the better ones ruling. Aemond has been wanting this, and he, as we see, the first time he gets a chance to have that power, he is like you said, he's screwing over the small folk, and now he's trying to hold on to it. Aemond bends forward and kisses him on the forehead and brushes on his wound again before leaving.
Right. The only thing that honestly stopped him, I believe, from actually killing Aegon was the Grand Maester walked in.
Yes, and I think the Meister is kind of suspicious of that. Yeah, because Aemond walks out and you can see the look on his face like,
"Fuck was going on in here?
What the fuck was that? It feels so tense. Like what the Alicent is already feeling that Aemond purposely. Yeah, she's already feeling that way. Again, we do see Larys pop in to visit him, and he tells the Meister and everybody else to stop giving him milk of the pop, which is the drug they keep him on, the drug that they had Viserys on, the drugs that they usually give to someone as they're like kind of slowly going into death.
Right, and it's their version of morphine.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely,
it's their version of morphine. It keeps them dazed. It keeps them pretty much sleep, so that way they don't feel whatever pain they're going through. And your man Larys is like, nah, we need this motherfucker alive and well to tell us what the hell is going on.
Yeah, he says the drink dulls your pain, but it also dulls your mind. You're going to have to deal with that pain because we need your mind sharp because you'll never be able to run with your children again. So you're going to have to be stronger here. And we see there, this is what Larys is going to do. He's going to end up, I guess, siding with Aegon.
Yeah, he's like I said, Larys is all about trying to move up in those ranks. So if he can move up in those ranks, he's going to do it by any means necessary. And since Aemond hit him with the Aemond hit him with the no, not you, my granddad. He's like, you know what? If I can't win him over, how about I win over the person exactly who is fucking king right now? The actual real king. And since he's going to fucking come back and rule, maybe I can get in his good graces. So that's what his plan is right now. And do you blame him?
No, I don't. He tells a story about what happened to him. He said that his foot was so twisted when he was born that his father claimed it was sorcery. He said people will pity you behind your back or in your presence, and they will stare. And that pity, they will underestimate you, and that will be your advantage. So he's saying, use the way these people feel about you and turn it into something, for you. And it's
kind of like it's almost like the speech that my man, midget man, what's his name?
Tyrion.
Tyrion gave Bronn when he lost the use of his legs. He was like, "Oh, the cripple and the midget. Like, get over it. You're crippled. Does that mean you can't do anything? No. Find a way to figure it out." That's
essentially this is either the end of your life or the start of it. This is
exactly, and that's pretty much what Larys did the same thing to Aegon. He's like, "Yo, this, I don't know."
He's a Betty. You know what? Good point.
They were.
They damn sure were.
It was very much well. I wouldn't say they put it directly out there, but it was very much implied that there was a little lesbian situation going on.
The first scene we see with them is Alicent reading the stuff about, the history to Rhaenyra. They're laying in each other's laps. They have these like longing looks in each other's. It's clear that both of them
want each other.
Yes, and it's also clear, and that's why when that kiss happened, like you said, we weren't shocked because Rhaenyra's kind of always swung either way.
First of all, Rhaenyra's a fucking Targaryen. Targaryens are freaks, people.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Absolutely. I don't know. Betty, I'll be honest with you. I think people just it's pearl clutchers. It's pearl clutchers is all it is.
After Daemon had that dream about him fucking his mama.
His mom? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like okay, this is
like,
too much, but the incest sex is fine. It's okay.
Right.
It's fine. Whatever. What?
The very first episode of Game of Thrones, we see a set of twins fucking each other and then throw a kid off a building, and that's fine. But a little kiss between two chicks that ain't related is too much. So as long as we keep it in the family, we good. Okay.
So Aegon decides he does say, "Help me." He tells Larys to help him. So I guess this is officially the new thing. We then cut to Alicent, who is going to see her brother Gawain as they're about to go leave for.
Yo, my man Gawain, bro. He is on a mission to let it be known I ain't with none of this shit. I'm just here because I just really gotta protect my sister. That's the only reason I'm here. Y'all are moving on some wild shit out here that I ain't really with. It's fucking dragons out here. Y'all think I'm scared? Nah, I just know we gonna fucking die. I ain't scared. I just don't want to die, bro.
Gawain is not told a lie once. That man has told the truth every time he's been on screen.
Every single time. Every single time. And you know what I gotta remember? And he also brings something that I forgot. I forgot Alicent got older kids too.
Yeah, I think we all forgot about that until this scene. Gawain's talking about the importance of the eldest Hightower going to go off to kind of watch their land and things. And that's when Alicent says, so how's my kid? Sorry, it was her youngest, Darren, sent to Old Town. And he says, how's my child? What is he like? So like Alicent doesn't even know what her child is like at all. Doesn't know his personality, his likes, his dislikes. He sends her letters, but she says they've been coming fewer and fewer by the month. He says he's stalwart, clever, as adept with a lute as he is with a sword, and he's a feature of fancies of many the young lady. And then he says, most importantly, he is kind. And they talk about how maybe that would have been best for all of the sons, had they all been able to go there and kind of not grow up
in King's Landing.
The castle. Yes. Maybe growing up in the castle, surrounded by all of this, morphed them into worse people.
Yeah. He was like, he damn sure said it. He said, you kept his ass pretty much the whole city versus suburban argument. You kept your kids growing up in the city and now look at them. You can't get mad that the kids you kept in the city in this project are out here fighting and shooting and shit like that, where your kid that you got living in the suburbs is the captain of the fucking varsity football team on his way to college. You gave one kid a different opportunity and you put another kid in a different opportunity. It's all about environment. I say that shit all the time when it comes to raising kids. Kids 500% are direct products of their environment. If you put a kid in a situation where they can thrive, guess what will happen? They will thrive. If you put them in a situation where there's crabs in the barrel, they will become one of the crabs. Plain and simple.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And we've seen that happen not just here, but over the course of this entire series, where we will see. It really is. It's what you're around. Because honestly, when you're growing up, you are around the other people of your environment and things more than you're around your family. You're usually at the house and things. And
my mother always said, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Plain and simple.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. Birds of a feather damn sure do flock together. It's not just a saying. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So your environment, and we've seen it even from day one with Game of Thrones. Look at the Star Kids and how they were raised with respect, courtesy, manners, and shit like that. And look at the Targaryens in King's Landing.
Yeah.
Kids pissing off the fucking kids pissing off the goddamn window and shit.
On to people. On purpose. Yeah. Shit's absolutely. Yeah. 100% right. Wrapping up this conversation, Alicent's trying to just ask like if this was the right thing, and her brother says, "You did your best," but like you can tell she's like I didn't. I clearly didn't. I messed up, because she's looking at all of her moves since she is absolutely. If she wasn't sure before when Rhaenyra last talked to her, she's absolutely sure at this point. I fucked over my best friend.
I should have just let Rhaenyra be the fucking queen.
And here we are. Yeah, and here we are. And now one of my sons is a cripple and might not make it through the next week. And the other is a tyrant who is just
cripple.
Yeah.
A cripple.
A cripple is a nice way of putting it. Yeah, it's
my son is Elmer's glue. That's what the fuck his ass looks like.
Yeah. But it's hard to feel bad for Alicent, because she brought it all on herself, man. She did.
She brought it on herself. In the words of my boy Roger Smith from American Dad, I'm 50-50. Not really 50-50. And the reason I say that is because, yes, she brought a lot of situations upon herself and shit that's going on. But at the same time, it's not really her fault that Viserys was dying and just screamed out, Aegon.
Yeah.
She, of course, is going to think, oh, that's my kid.
Yeah.
I don't know about no damn story of fire and ice. I know my kid is named Aegon. This is daddy, and he's screaming Aegon.
Yeah.
So,
fair enough. And yeah, Otto was consistently trying to get her to make that move. So yeah. But still,
Otto was the one who told her from day one when she was a tiny, tiny girl. Hey, listen, the king want to get up in you. Do what you got to do for the family.
It's so gross, but that's exactly what happened. That is exactly
literally, the man pimped his daughter out.
We're gonna get into Viserys soon, but do you remember when his wife died, and then I believe it was Corlys who was trying to get him to get with one of his daughters, and at the time, or granddaughter, at the time she was like 7, and he was like, "This is."
Even Viserys was like, bro, whoa.
Yeah.
She's leaving a little too young for me. Let me get that 13-year-old over there. That's exactly what he did, though, bro.
He did.
So many ways, but that's exactly what he did. He said, she's 7. Nah, man, that's way too young. Hey, that 13.
Let's double that age real quick. Just make sure.
Gotta make it at least 13.
We'll go back to Daemon at Scooby-Doo Manor with his. You ever I still have that old song where it was like, like that, like when they're like looking through shit. That's what I hear when Daemon's just walking around this place. Hall.
I hate you because as soon as they mention Hall, I hear Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? You got some work to do now. I hate you so much, Mongo. I hate you so much. God, I hate you.
He's at Hall, and he's having more and more visions. And this episode, it's about his brother, Viserys, Raymond, and he sees Viserys on the throne, and we cut back to that day where Viserys called him in and says, "Is it true?
Did you say
King for a day? Is it
day.
true?" And this time, Daemon is more just like kind of quaking and like
he's
nervous.
actually sorry
Yeah.
for it this time. Where the first time it was more of a, all right, I said it, but you're not gonna really punish me, are
Ain't
you,
that
bro?
big of a
Like,
deal.
come on now, like it's me, it's Damon. Come
Yeah.
on,
It's your brother.
it's me, a Damon. Like, you know, that's how it was the first time around. But this time we actually see the sympathy and the empathy that Damon had for saying it, because when he banished him in his vision, instead of the outrage that Damon had the first time about it, it was more, yes, Your Majesty, as you wish.
But it was
Like,
also
very
sorrowful and kind of
humble.
begging because he says, I do what I must. And he says, please don't do this. Please, like he's like on the verge of tears. And
Yeah.
please don't say it. Please don't say it. You have to go back to your home with your wife. You wait there, and he's just
Yo,
you said
so
he goes, as you said.
Your man Damon is out here just running away from wives left and right.
The man is not made for a monogamous relationship, Kenny.
The only woman who reined his ass in was a strong black woman. She kept his she kept his ass at home. Bitch, you ain't going nowhere. Ain't no wars. Study with your fucking kids.
At home, being a girl dad, all that shit.
Right, yo. Keep your ass at home. I don't give a fuck if you miss fighting. I said take out the goddamn garbage.
I remember because that episode where she ends up, you know, the dragon ends up killing her. That you saw, like he broke down. He broke down bad.
Oh, he was broken. He was broken.
And we still weren't sure how like he would handle it. And then his daughters came up to him and asked, and they were just sitting on the wall, and he's trying to talk to them, and it cuts, but it looks like he's about to like hug them, and then it cuts. Mm-hmm. And I think I remember that being an issue with people like in the books are like, that's not what's done in the books. Like, yeah, but it gives the guy a little bit more heart, you know, like you kind of
right.
He's not this one note asshole.
Here's the thing that
when he actually there's a little bit of heart there. And again, we see it in this episode.
Here's the thing that people don't realize. Not every person is born a supervillain. There's always a supervillain origin story. So at some point during the supervillain's reign, you will see a piece of their heart from either a memory, from them, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, supervillains are human. So they still will have a heart towards something. It may not be what we want it to be towards, but they will have it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
That's the moment where people kind of like began feeling for Aegon is when he walked into his dragon and Sunfire like playfully nudged him, and they were smiling with each other. That's the last time we've seen him smile since his son was killed. And it's like he's a kid. That guy's a kid having to go to war. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Daemon is only probably like 28.
He looks like he's in his 60s, but that's just because, you know, it's tough to live around that time. You know, it's
Viserys was only 43 when he died? Didn't we figure that shit out? Like he was like only in his 40s? Like, bro, these motherfuckers is dying early, as you can see. Heads getting chopped off at being a newborn. So, like,
I forgot about that. Viserys was not that old. He was not old at all.
No, I think he was only like in his 40s.
He was like either late 40s or early 50s. And I think it might have been late 40s. Yeah, I think you're right. That was
that Crypt Keeper fucking disease he had.
Bro, it messed it. But even like, so that meant that when the show started, he was only like in his 30s. Like, holy shit.
Bro, like I said, Daemon is probably no more than 32. No more than 32. Alicent, let's be realistic. She's probably 25. She's probably like 25. Because none of these kids is over 18.
Yeah, not like everyone is incredibly young, except for Otto Hightower. Everybody is incredibly young.
Oh, that's because my man been smoking cigarettes, kicking field goals for decades. So
the boot. Bro, the second I learned that, I sent it in the chat. I was like, "Yo, that's," and you said you've ruined Otto for me for the rest of this show because I can never not see him and just like
not thinking to dance after he makes the fucking field goal. Now I cannot. Thinking of this man smoking a cigarette on the fucking 48-yard line, tossing that shit, kicking the field goal, and then hitting the fucking margarita. I can never not see that now.
Viserys dies. He hears Alicent's going to go with their plan. And he just goes,
right. And then, like, I can never not see that shit now. Like, yeah, you've ruined a lot for me with this fucking TV show. You know that?
I'm sorry. By the way, if y'all haven't done it, go watch The Replacements. Great movie. Great football movie.
It's not one of those. It's not a Varsity Blues type football movie. This is definitely a feel good football type movie. All right, folks. Don't take nothing serious.
I miss those days, like those sports movies. You know, I miss. Because we don't do that shit anymore, and it sucks. I kind of miss stuff like that.
You know,
everything has to be like a big ass, major, billion-dollar blockbuster. Like, man, it doesn't have to be.
The greatest football movie ever created in history of film or television. Little Giants.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with Little Giants. All-time classic.
Like the greatest feel-good movie in the history of feel-good movies. No matter what age you are, you will watch that shit and enjoy it. Okay? And
one of these days we're gonna do a podcast where we just like rank sports movies. It'll be like a 5-hour show, but we'll be doing it.
We already know what number one is right there.
Yeah, there you go. Damon does say like you can't possibly still be angry about this, which made me laugh because he's just like, bro, it's been like over a decade. Like, you're still mad about this?
Like, you still mad about this, my guy? Like, bro, come on, man. Like, this nigga is still holding grudges and shit. That's exactly what he hit him with.
Oh, God.
You're like, bro, you in my dream. Why the fuck you mad?
He wakes up and he almost stabs sort of Strong. Is like, did you do this? Are you plotting against me? He goes, my liege, I feel like you're not getting enough sleep. Like, he's just, hey, bro, you need to relax.
Right. And it's like, your man definitely, because first off, he's banging on the door to get out. And he busts through the door and he's like, just know your king is watching you. And he's like, all right. He gave everybody
looks over like
definitely hit them with the okay. Blink twice if you need help.
Damon looking back at him with that freakazoid villain, like, I saw that. You think I've got clocks in my head, don't you? Like, okay, this guy's nuts. Right. He ends up meeting with the witch. As you know, I wasn't gonna say it, but now I am. The bastard, Alice Rivers.
Fuck you. Fuck you. So, question: once she said her last name was Rivers, Damon automatically said the bastards.
Immediately.
So, does that mean every bastard last name is Rivers? Does that mean Corliss's kids is my fucking cousins?
Could be. It's like every new generation, the dad just doesn't show up for the birth.
I think it's just by the area. I guess in the
Yeah.
Riverlands,
So then
they're
Corliss's
rivers.
kids definitely are rivers then.
Yeah. So like,
If you're from Winterfell, you're Snow.
yeah, like Tito said, if you're a bastard, they just name you based off of where you're from. Yep.
So then Corliss's kids is definitely rivers.
That or I don't know, fucking
That or oceans,
sea.
or seas.
The seas.
Sea.
the seaweeds. They're the seaweeds. Right. Oh, that's just disrespectful. He's kind of talking with her, and he calls her his counsel.
And she says, the great Daemon Targaryen asking for help. He says, no.
Counsel.
Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference here. From there, we cut to a scene that I want to talk about.
All right.
From there, we cut to a scene where Aemond and Alicent are talking. The council has just finished having a meeting and stuff, and he asks Alicent to stay back. And as they're talking, this man fired his mama.
Yes, he did.
This man fired his mama and told her, you know what? I'm going to need you to pretty much go be a damn lady. Keep your ass barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and in the house. That's what the hell I need you to do right now. Yeah, man. Literally. Oh, hold on.
We're getting to it. We're getting to it. We're getting to it. We're getting to it.
We're getting to it. So I'm sitting there like, did this man really just fire his mama and tell her to take her ass back into the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
That's when I knew Aemond was different. Like, brothers fight all the time. I've seen actual brothers do some wild shit to each other where they tried to shoot each other and shit. I've seen some crazy shit. So burning your
brother pull a knife out on his brother in the middle of the street.
Right, like, you know, like listen, like a brother burning his brother with a dragon, that's light shit. But the fire your mama, that's when I know, that's when I realized, oh no, Aemond is different. How you tell your mama to go on unemployment? Yep. Like you really told your mama to shut up, sit down, and be quiet and be a grandma.
Yeah, it's I couldn't do that to my mother. I'll tell you that right now. My mother will whoop my ass still.
My mother's the only person on earth that I am deathly afraid of. Okay?
I'm also afraid of your mother. Let her know. Let her know I'm not coming for her.
That woman is the only person on earth that I am deathly afraid of. Okay? I don't care how much my mom is fucking up if I gave her a job. She just got her job until she want to quit. I don't care. I'm not firing my mom.
No, absolutely not. Hell no. Hell no. Yes.
And Batty, the sad part is my mom is a little firecracker. That's the bad part about it. Like she's smaller than me. And I'm terrified.
We do cut to Rhaenyra trying to go, trying to get some more people to fight for Rhaenyra. And she meets up with Lady Aaron. And they're discussing a wild dragon that is around these parts.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Rhaenyra walk around, and she sees that there's this entire landscape that's burnt to a crisp, where some livestock.
An entire, damn near half a forest.
Mm-hmm. And I know what that is, but the show has not revealed what this is, and I don't know if you want to be spoiled on like the name or anything. So right now we're just going to keep it not known, because I had that a little spoiled for me. That's one of the spoilers I was talking about when I was playing that game. I was like, this motherfucker put spoilers in this goddamn, like, that's what I was talking about. We do see Rhaenyra trying to find other dragon riders, because last episode, her son was like, we need to find people that can ride dragons, and she goes, you have to have pure blood to be a dragon rider, and her son goes, come on, let's be real, let's be serious about this, right?
Yeah.
They find somebody, Stephen Darkland, who is given the chance, and he says, I will graciously accept this opportunity. And he goes, and they take him to the little dragon pit, and the dragon Seasmoke, which I believe was the dragon of Rhaenyra's first husband and Corlys and Rhaenys' son. And it slowly walks up and stares at him and just looking, just kind of lays its head down, and he smiles. He smiles like, I got this. I can do this. And he walks over to it, and it just dead. Him and another guy burnt
to a motherfucking. But the other guy said, fuck this shit.
The other guy wasn't going to let himself burn to death. He took out a sword. Dude, how do you have time, Kenny? How do you have time?
I don't know.
I thought it was dead by that point, but he is able to stand up and do that.
Your man said, yo, listen, you figure, first of all, I've since day fucking one of seeing this shit, I've always wondered how the fuck did they think having them itty bitty ass twigs was going to stop these dragons from doing anything. They poking these niggas what would look like a toothpick to a dragon. They sitting there, how is that? Obey. Right. How is that? Like you really gonna tame fucking? You really going with a stick?
What was the dude's name again?
So I forgot what my man's name was, but he supposedly was a long distance cousin or some shit like that, where he may have had Targaryen blood, and he has Targaryen blood in him.
Sir Stefan Darkland was
well, I'm gonna tell you what Seasmoke. So Stefan Darkland, you ain't dark enough, motherfucker. Hold up, let me.
Like Maddie said, roasted like a $2 Waffle House steak, burnt to a crisp.
Yo, but yeah, your man, the monk dude stands up. He's like, yo, this hurts. Hold on, let me just stop this. This hurts. I don't blame him.
I don't either.
I don't blame him.
I just figured it was a quicker than like he had time. I didn't know he had time to do that. That wasn't well done. That was congratulations. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Seasmoke later flies away free from the dragon pit, and
breaks the fuck out.
Yeah, and we see it has found Adam, the younger brother of Alan.
Before we get to that, we see Corlys has demanded pretty much that Alan. First off, I thought Alan was Corlys's only bastard. Come to find out, Alan's brother.
He got a few. He's got a few.
Corlys got about 6, 7 probably kids out there. Because when, like, of course, I knew that was his brother and stuff like that, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe they had the same mama or whatever the kid. No, Corlys went back for seconds on this woman.
After they already had one bastard.
Right. So that was his second family, from what I'm seeing, real quick.
Essentially, yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? So he demands. He pretty much, at first, he asks Alan to be his first mate, which is a very big honor. on the ship. That means you're literally, yeah, she was out here like, I ain't no fool. I ain't boo-boo the fool, nigga. You got a whole nother family.
You ain't gonna miss me. Yeah, that's yeah. Hey,
So,
she went out bad. She went out like a bad bitch, like the queen she was.
but she did. So, he at first he's asking him, and you can tell. Well, Corlys finally accepts the position of the hand. He puts the pin on, so he finally accepts the position of the hand. So we see that he's trying to, I guess, make up with Alan in a way, because after his wife dies, she's like, yo, bro, I know about your other family. Stop being a dick. You owe that boy your life, and that's your son. Treat him as such. That's pretty much what she was saying there.
Yeah.
So he comes with him like, yo, I want you to be my first mate. And Alan is like, nah, there's other people more qualified. He's like, yeah, but I'm coming to you. I want you to do. So then Alan hit him with that. Is that a request or a demand? Corlys said, oh, since you want to be a dick about it, bitch, report to duty tomorrow.
What, you know what? Fair. Understandable.
Right, like, yo, I'm like, you want to be a dick about this, bro? Like, it's like, this is my way of saying I'm sorry, thank you, everything all in one. Let's start anew, bro. And you know what, bitch, report to work tomorrow. I expect you on your post in the morrow. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed something. Alan keeps his head shaved bald.
Mm-hmm.
His brother doesn't. His brother has dark locks. Does Alan keep his head shaved bald because he has blonde?
Possibly, yeah. A way to hide it. That's a possibility.
Oh, because he don't want to have the dreads, and because I mean, come on, how many of them are on that island with dreads?
It looks like everybody that's black on that island, whether they related to them or not, got dreads.
There is.
I'm gonna be, and there ain't no barber over there.
No.
Look like they all got dreads.
Every single one of them motherfuckers is his kids. I don't give a fuck.
It reminds me of that, like, over the past, like, 4 years, people have kind of realized that, like, whether it's in games or, like, TV shows or movies, for some reason, black characters get, like, the same kind of hairstyle now. Yeah, it's the exact same. And, yeah, kind of a little bit.
Everybody got dreads over there.
Yeah, every single person. So yeah, Adam, like you said, Adam and Paul, or Alan is going with the sea snake. So Adam is there on the island, and then a dragon attacks, and it chases him through a forest.
Like chases his ass.
And he's sitting there against a rock because he thinks he's finally free. It flies up when it goes into the trees, and he's looking up and he sees a dragon way up in the sky. He's like, okay, it's gone. Nope, that's a different dragon. This one is right over him, lands in front of him, and gets right up in his face. And
Seasmoke.
you know he had to shit himself a little bit. Just a little bit. Just like
a little.
Just
a little. Seasmoke would have been mad he chose me for a rider. Because I'd have got on his back shitty and pissy.
Just full of shitty britches.
Just full of it. Just full of shit. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everything I ate for the last 2 days when it came out, just full of shit, all on the back of this dragon. He'd be like, I picked this motherfucker. Yep, this is what you get, homie. Can't be running up on people like that. And this is what happens when you do. Not used to having a goddamn dragon around.
So by the end of the episode, we're kind of cutting back and forth. I just want to just say we do see Seasmoke flying in at a certain point, and they're like, "Oh, there's a rider. Who is it?" And we know who it is. I want to ask you about this because Seasmoke belonged to her first husband. I can't remember his name right now, but that's who he originally was the rider of. There was a rumor or the theory going around that those dragons are only accepting a new rider if their rider's dead. So do you think he's dead? Or do you think that's just like the story, because I think in the book, they just flat out just killed him. But in the show, they showed you that that's not what happened. Like they made sure to show us he was alive and he had escaped somewhere else.
See,
so that's what I'm curious about.
I don't know, because I'm kind of putting the bond between Dragon Rider and Dragon the same way the bond was with Avatar. Where they only had like one rider, unless the rider did pass away. They had to make that kind of bond with that one particular, which is why everybody has just one particular dragon. People aren't just switching dragons. Like, let me hold your dragon to go to the store. Nah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
I gotta go pick up my kid at daycare. Let me get your dragon. Cookie said I thought it was going to come back later, but also it could just be that family, just to fit like a family connection, maybe.
Could be.
Before we get to the ending of this episode, which this is around, back at Harrenhal, Daemon has another vision, and this time it's something that he didn't see. It was Viserys crying over his wife.
Dead wife.
Yes. Breaking down, and Daemon walks up and he just says, I should have been here. I should have been here for you. I was, whether I was too young or arrogant, I don't know, but I should have been here for you. And I'm here now. And he hugs him, holds him tight, and and Viserys is breaking down, and you see Daemon is starting to he's fighting back tears, just holding him. And I think here's where we're like, okay, this is the Daemon turnaround. He's finally kind of growing as a person.
Daemon said, nope, I'm out of here.
Daemon definitely after that he has this emotional, I guess, reconnection with his brother. He wakes up to find out that Grover Tullius died. The one that he had told the grandson, hey,
why don't you put a pillow over his head?
And he asks, was
it natural?
How he died? Was it natural? Yeah, how did he die? And he goes, oh,
he was sick for a while.
We even sent our healer Alice over there. And he goes, what? Yeah, Alice Rivers went there to go try to do her work, but he was too far gone. And he's like, this motherfucker. That's a shame.
Because the counsel that Alice gave him was to do nothing. She told him in 2 days' time the winds would turn, meaning he would get House Tully like he wanted. And sure enough, this guy died. Something else that happened. Alicent and Rhaenyra got attacked in the middle of King's Landing.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I was about to forget that. That's very important. This is after this is way after the food delivery from Rhaenyra. The small folk have just finally begun to rebel.
They're tired of it because they're seeing lambs go in for. Because what happened right before we see the lambs going, we see that we see the I guess the head madam of the whorehouse, the one that Aemond was laying with, talk about how a couple of her girls are now working in King's Landing, and they talk of eating lamb every night, having warm baths, clean clothes, food, and stuff like that. So she's putting it in their ear that, this is what our king is doing. Mind you, the madam is the White Worms right hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one giving White Worm all the information, and White Worm is telling her what to feed the small folk. So she had just fed this line about the lambs and stuff, and sure enough, they see like 4 carts of lamb and other livestock go into the where Aemond and everybody is to, 1, feed the king and his people, and 2, to feed the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that they're mad about. The dragon is now taking up a lot of their food and livestock because they have to keep the dragon happy.
Which, to be fair, that's a big ass dragon. So
yeah,
that's a lot of livestock.
Yeah, Vhagar is huge.
Okay? Like Sunfire, Viserys, and Valus, like they were all smaller, and you know they're still dragons, but they're a lot smaller. Vhagar is fucking massive. I think Vhagar is the
second biggest dragon out.
It's the largest one we've seen on screen. On screen, I think it's the largest because it's definitely bigger than any of Daenerys' dragons from Game of Thrones.
Oh, easily.
But yeah, like you said, as far as actual dragon, it is the second largest. But on screen that we've seen so far, it is the biggest we've seen. And I can't even imagine how fucking massive that other one is. When we see Vhagar like rising, standing up, and being above castles.
Right.
And when it flies over the sun, it blocks out the sun for miles. Like this thing is fucking huge.
Well, they call Vhagar the mother of all the dragons.
Well,
because she was one of the original dragons to land in King's Landing.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, that leads to
the small folks getting upset, and Alicent and Rhaenyra are at the church trying to pray, and that's when the fight for the food breaks out. And the small folk are fighting; they're going back and forth. Alicent's guard tells them, "Hey, we gotta bounce now. Get them to the wheelhouse now." So they're trying to cut through the court, and Queen of the Rotten Fishes, somebody throws fish guts right in Alicent's face.
Hit her right in the face. Bam! Cartoon sound effect. Smack. Right in her face.
Yeah.
They almost get mobbed, and then they pull away, and one of their guards pulls out a sword, and she says, "No, sheathe your sword.
Sheathe your sword." So now Alicent's guard is like, "All right, you heard the queen, sheathe your sword," but they are not listening to that. Nope. They got their swords out, still waiting, and because they got their swords out, still waiting, the crowd is like, "Oh, for real? That's how you look?" And
because that's escalation.
Next thing you know, it turned into a Spike Lee movie.
It did. We did see one of those guards did cut off someone's arm. Like they're like,
the one that grabbed Alicent.
Yeah, tried to like grab and like say something, and then right here, like not at the elbow, but just below it, bam. And that's when like, oh shit, get them in that cage. Now and that's when that, like you said, that guy, he's getting jumped by, and we're hearing him getting not just beaten to death. We're hearing like he's getting shanked, he's getting beaten.
You mean it's getting beat, stoned, stabbed, everything, yo. You just hear a bunch of pink, 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 pink. Like he's getting done in at this point.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's putting it lightly. I mean, good God.
Bruh.
I think I'd rather be lit on fire by one of those dragons. Like Jesus Christ.
They kept beating him.
Yeah, they didn't stop. Kept beating him. No, they didn't stop until he was flat. That's when they were done. So yeah, the revolt's happening. And I think this is when we just get to the last bit of the episode. Rhaenyra is talking to Mysaria, the White Worm, And as they're trying to discuss things, they kiss, which is apparently the biggest fucking travesty in all of Game of Thrones for some reason. They share a kiss. And like Kenny said before, it's something that just goes along with Rhaenyra's character. It makes sense. Makes sense for the White Worm too.
I'm about to say it makes most sense for the White Worm because you got to remember she was a whore. She worked. She literally slept her way up the ranks. Remember, at first she belonged to Otto Hightower. Then she went to Daemon. She has worked her way up the fucking ranks. She's a whore. Why would she not get the queen coochie?
Yeah, makes sense.
Once again, Batty has given us words of wisdom.
The crown chaser, the scepter rider, and the throne thanger. I like throne thanger a lot. I might keep that.
Yeah.
Like
that's the one that stuck out in my mind too. Like
Daddy just had them shits waiting for.
Like, how do you come up with this shit? Like, people always ask me, where do I come up with my shit? Batty is quicker than me. Like, nah. Bravo. Wait, it makes perfect sense that Syria is out here trying to sleep with the queen. Let's the whore get her way up the rank.
That's fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's when we're all at our best.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. And again, so this kiss is interrupted by the Seasmoke appearance, and that's when we're like, "Who the fuck is on Seasmoke?" But we know who's on Seasmoke, right. And that's the episode. It was I don't know. It wasn't just the controversy, which again is fucking stupid. People are upset about the show being slow. I think people are just remembering that the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones were just action-packed and real quick. And that's because we spent 5 seasons building up. Like, every season had one big moment, and then the last 2 seasons were just nothing but big moments. It's supposed to be slow because it's about political intrigue, infighting with families. We get the big moments when we get them. And
people are forgetting too. We're getting to the season finale.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 episodes left?
Yeah.
Like, maybe the Daemon Harrenhal stuff might have been a little long, but if you wanted to take all this time to slowly deal with the stuff with Rhaenyra trying to convince her council to trust her, and the issues with Alicent dealing with, her kind of slowly realizing, oh, I fucked up, and the small folk starting to rise, and all these other things, Daemon had to be there for a minute. He had to hang out there for a while. That's just how it is.
And people got to remember one thing too, like Harrenhal wasn't just a half-hour drive.
No.
It was like a 4-day flight on a dragon. Okay, so like it's gonna take him time to get there. He gonna need to rest. He gonna need to chill. It's gonna take him time to get back anyway. And we're like, oh, he wasn't there. Relax. And once again, people's call adaptation. Adaptation. If you want it directly like the book, read the book.
Exactly. If you're gonna have something pinpoint accurate to its original source material, there's no point in doing an adaptation.
Yeah.
There's no point. Because if it's the exact same, then my favorite example of this is the old Alfred Hitchcock movie Psycho, right? They did a remake in the 90s with Vince Vaughn as the killer. And the problem with the movie wasn't that it was bad. It was the exact same movie, beat for beat. So what's the point?
Yeah.
There's no point. So
No.
changing things up a little bit, freshen things up. The little kiss. If the problem was that it wasn't in the book, fuck off. Who cares? If the problem is you don't like two women kissing on screen, fuck off. We're way
Who
past
cares?
that. Yeah. I just, like y'all need to get over that shit. It's 2024. We're way past that being a problem. Way past that.
Like enough is enough, folks. Enough is enough.
But I mean, what did y'all think about it? I thought it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. It was
You saw my reaction in the chat.
yes, we did. Yes, we
good.
did. You liked it.
It was good. You know what I mean? Like you saw they're using the art of war. Like, they're trying to turn the people against the Greens, and it's working. You know, she sent the DoorDash, the Uber Eats, with all that food, and they're like, "Oh shit, she fucking with us." They said they beefing, but she still fuck with us. All right, cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for a little Aegon versus Aemond, how that's going to play out. Yeah, we're not going to get a fight, but we are going to get who's going to be joining which side. Is Alicent sick with Aegon, or it's going to be it set up a lot of shit. Game of Thrones has always been about the setup, and that's what this is.
I think maybe, I don't know. I didn't read the book, so I'm just giving a shot in the dark here. I say Aegon and Alicent are them teaming up with Rhaenyra.
Like take out the enemy of my enemy and then kind of deal with it after the fact, kind of like how we were supposed to do Daenerys and Jon, and then Cersei. Okay. That's not a bad theory.
So, all right, we're gonna work together. After that, you're gonna bend the knee.
After that, right. You're gonna bend the knee. No, you're gonna bend the knee. No, not if you bend the knee first.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, but for right now, we got to get rid of old One-Eye Willie.
Poke him in the good eye. That's
that's how it works.
Here we go, Captain Insano.
I would love to. I will love to see that. I would love to see that, man. Somebody about to fight a dragon. Walk up to the dragon, Captain Insano style. Poke the dragon dead in the fucking eye. Like that. That's ultimate right there. Mm-hmm.
That's how you win the war. That's how you win the war.
If you poke Aemond dead in his fucking good eye, you are winner. Winner, chicken fucking dinner.
Just like Damon.
And make sure your finger is dirty. Oh, so he get the little dirt in his eye too? Oh God. He is fucked.
This is like they're building up this fight like 3 seasons in the making. Damon and him finally go fight, and he knocks his sword away and then just right in that eye. That's the end of the fight. That's just the end of it. Like, oh shit, that was over quick.
Hit his ass with a pie. What was it? Pie Man when he pulled out this chick's eye in Kill Bill? What? Hit him with the pop. Grab that shit. War over. War over.
Look, we can have a burnt king. We can have a crippled king. We can't have a blind king. You can't see shit.
Right.
You
don't know what's going on, homie. You don't know what's going on.
Folks, you can follow us at facebook.com/undertheringpod and twitch.tv/undertheringpod. You can also get us at our link tree and fingertip.com/undertheringpod. All those places will give you our links. I'm, of course, at Greg Bush SK. You can see my man Kenny, our only ever double champion, at Rockridge44, who, like he said, is going to be putting up pictures of all his hog events. House of Glory. He's going to get thrown around like a little doll. It's going to be fun.
It's not. No, it's not happening. It's not. I'm not.
It's happening.
My boy Carlos La Sombra. Listen, bro. We talk. We talk, bro. Don't pick me up. Don't pick me up, bro. I'm a grown ass man. I refuse to be picked up. Don't do it.
You can also see this motherfucker, this tag. I'm not even gonna say it. You can also see Matt, the final Matty.
Well, I ain't gonna say that because he took my other belt. Fuck him too.
That's fair enough. At the right answer, of course, our shooting captain, the man
who's
with
out
the
the doghouse. Who's out the doghouse because he said he was gonna buy me a beer.
There you go.
And that man bought me a bucket.
Got your whole. Hey, that look ain't no beef between friends that a big old bucket of beer can't fix, except for when you steal belts. And last but not least, our good friend and local news correspondent, Justin D. Baxley. Folks, y'all have a wonderful weekend. We're going to see you back here Monday, talking about Raw, talking about SmackDown.
Talk about a little death before dishonor, too. How people should have lost the belt, but didn't.
How? Yeah, we'll get into that. That was a weird decision. Until then, be good. And remember, do the Don.